Welcome back, Snipe fans. It is game number 1 here in the best of 3 finals. Cognitive Gaming versus Snipe here to round out week number 6 in the North American scene. Let's go ahead and introduce your teams. They are the blue team. Pristine side of the map. Bottom of the minimap and left side of your spectator UI. It is going to be Cognitive Gaming North America. You'll have Andister in the jungle as Tier. You'll have MLC Stealth in the mid lane as Ra. Rounding up the MLC twins, it's going to be Omega in the solo lane as Vamana. And your duo lane, it's going to be the Barracuda lane. Derrick and Barracuda combining for Sobek and Apollo. Had to say it just once. DM, who are they going up against today?
We have third seed Snipe trying to leave their mark on the path to 100K that has so far been paved by Cognitive, but Snipe has 2 chances to answer back. This is a 2 out of 3. Wolfie going to be taking Hun Bots over to the solo lane in Continentia, grabbing Sun Wukong for the support role. Going to be going over there with Allied playing Shibalanke. Xing bringing the All-Father Odin into the jungle. And finally, Nick on Zeus going mid.
So Omega going to be going for the Ankh of the Golem rush over Mystical Mark against Wolfie here. I think he's thinking he needs a little bit more damage than he does need the protection to trade evenly with the crits from Hunbots. If you're not familiar with Hunbots, he's the Mayan monkey god that you'll see on the map. Short in stature, but big in damage. His passive, after using an ability, his next in-hand has a 50% chance to crit. If you do the math, you realize that you can build really any 2 crit items. That means that after an ability, you will have a 100% crit rate. So Hunbots definitely has late game carry potential.
If they go for the red, they got the blue, they're not going to spot it out. They actually had the chance here to steal both, or even possibly kill Andy and take off the red pot. They should have used the Birds of Wisdom there, but they do manage to find themselves a blue buff, and now they're rotating back to get another one. I guess they really don't want Omega having that mana.
Yeah, and, you know, I guess I'm not really familiar enough with the Hunbots versus Tier matchup, or, I'm sorry, versus Vamana matchup, not something we see very often, but, you know, it makes sense that they would want to deny the blue buff. Omega will need the early mana to clear the wave, more so necessarily than Hunbots. Hunbots, of course, having the assassin scaling of his in-hands, not the warrior scaling like Vamana has, so it should be advantage Wolfie, at least in the beginning stages, but it's still just such a dangerous proposition to go up against Vamana, who has that slow and the knock plus the burst. To really, you know, you could see, even at level 2, that Armored Umbrella really hurting Wolfie.
But even so, check out the mana already. He's sitting under half. He's probably got 2 to 3 Umbrella ranks or Armored Umbrellas left in the chamber, and then once it's out, man, he's going to be in trouble. He's using mana potions, but I don't know how much they're going to do. He's already out of them. He's going to be forced back sooner rather than later, so long as Wolfie doesn't take too much damage. Mid lane. Now, this is interesting because this is the second time we're seeing this today. They have Zeus, and then they're going to have the Jungle Odin to combo for what is probably the most infamous combo in Smite, the Odin Zeus Lightning Storm Ring of Spears. Left side Allied barely getting away from Derrick there as 4 members of Cognitive are rotating in to take this blue buff.
Yeah, they're trying to starve out Snipe, it seems like, on mana, as they've taken 3 of the 4 blue buffs off the map in the first 2 minutes of the game. They definitely don't want Snipe to get rolling too well. And Xing will be on Odin, something we didn't really talk about. Not the style of God we normally see him play.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It's been so aggressive early. I mean, we've seen so many evades. Omega right now, you can see that was his last bit of mana right there. He might be able, no, he's going to head on back. This is going to be, oh, Wolfie with the snipe from the Sacred Monkey Toss is going to put Omega in an awful position. He couldn't have gone back to the base without missing golden experience, and now he's going to be stuck hovering under that tower against a very aggressive Howler Monkey God.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, the thing is that Wolfie, with these blue buffs, you know, has been able to do a pretty good job. He really invested heavily into HP pots and has been able to keep himself in a pretty good spot with the Death Soul as well, ticking him up. He does have, believe it or not, you know, better sustain at this point than the Vamana.
Oh, Derrick has found his way over to the solo lane.
They'll force out the Sobek rotation to soak up the XP. A very, very fat Sobek at that. In fact, a higher level than the solo laner, not something you see very often, but yeah, he's going to soak this farm and maintain lane presence as Wolfie continues his quest to get to those damage items.
Look, speaking of damage, Derrick has taken a lot himself, forced to use Hand of the Gods there. Wolfie's still sitting pretty right now. You can see Hand of the Gods should actually be coming up soon, but he's actually just going to farm this one the old-fashioned way. Mid lane, Nickon and Continentia pushing out as MLC Stealth begins to return. Bottom side, we're seeing a small camp get picked up. Barracuda has finished his Heartseeker, the first one done on the map so far. And Omega has actually started a Heartseeker as well. Instead of finishing Ankh, it looks like he's going to leave it at level 2 right now for his cost effectiveness.
So Wolfie now going to be forced to go back for the first time. We'll get a little hint as to what kind of items he's going to want to build into. My guess is he'll probably finish boots in this lane and try to get his mobility up a little bit because Lamana definitely has the edge there in terms of rotations towards the mid lane. The extra MS will help out the Hunbots a lot to getting in position.
Right, I want to see what they're going to do here. Anister has been waiting for so long. He finds him. Nick's going to use beads here. Xing is going to put it down. There's the Lightning Storm combo. Stealth not praising the sun right now as the cloud is covering his view. He goes down, but he gets answered. In mid lane, we're going to see both Nick and Stealth get removed. And Conscientia right there, his decoy is just chasing him out, not taking too much damage in the process. It seems a 1-for-1, but first blood right there is going to go from Snipe. Gold and experience difference, however, still maintained in favor of COG.
Yeah, but Xing does take the place of the top farmer in the game with that first blood kill, and he is running Heartseeker Odin, so let's see how close he is. He's about 800 gold away from being able to finish that item up in its entirety, so he's getting pretty close to that Heartseeker rank 3 and the stacks that make it so that if he rings you in, it's a real damage threat.
Wolfie getting pushed back a little bit, going to be going for the blue buff. Of course, the bottom side blue buff has already been picked up on the right side by Omega, not letting that happen again. Hand of the Gods going to be used there from Wolfie. Still, I'm a little bit interested here to see that everybody except for Anister, of the 6 people who have Hand of the Gods, have left them level 1 and have opted to level other items.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see that. Not level 2 Hand of the Gods coming out. Oh man, look at Omega's build, so greedy. Ankh 2, Heartseeker 1 started and only an empty Hand of the Gods with a mana pot. The man is full of greed today.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? I'm going to try to push out the baby. You can see a lot of damage coming through. Smart monkey toss, but doesn't find the crit right there. Omega gets a full wave getting pressured again into the tower.
Allied in a lot of trouble. Got to go down to Barracuda. The dash is enough to clean it up. It's the classic pluck him out of position, do the damage, and force him to use his escape mechanics, which can be really covered up pretty easily by Apollo there. Apollo does quite well against Shiva Lanke. If you don't know, Apollo's dash at the end of it is a 25% speed buff to all allies and a 25% speed debuff to all enemies hit by it when he comes out of it. So Sobek and Barracuda on the Apollo able to cover the distance and find the second kill for their team, third kill in the game, and they get it on a very important carry for Barracuda.
That's true. I mean, Allied getting shut down there, didn't get enough farm to finish the Devourer's Glove, so now he has to not only walk all the way back, but continue farming gold. He's still 400 gold away from getting those things done, and then he has to start his farm, whereas Barracuda has already gotten probably most of his stacks onto this Heartseeker.
Yeah, he's got it nicely stacked up, going the same build that we've seen him go in the last couple of games. Heartseeker, and then a later Death Toll after the rush comes out. Incon looks like going garbage, so Midas going to be coming out for the Sun Wukong. And we have a Shiva Lanke ultimate coming out on the left side there, trying to lock down Barracuda. The Cat's comes out, but Incon's not going to have enough damage to cover it. His Allied is sitting too low. In the meantime, Derek Care finds kill on the Nick, and now we have a big fight going down. Rings are out as well as the Zeus ultimate, but he doesn't have a detonate to follow that up with. A free kill there for COG as they roam as forward.
Snipe actually uses 4 ultimates there compared to only 3 getting used by COG. Not to mention COG actually found a kill there in Nick, who is sitting level 8 right now. Barracuda rotating in. Incontinentia does not have level 3 Hand of the Gods. Level 2 will execute below 10%. But already it does less damage than the actual health itself, so not really super necessary. Dare actually gets killed before the Somersault Cloud can go up. Xing's inside there looking for the steal. It gets reset. Andy just trying to get out here. Lunges damage at level 1 still does enough to find the kill. However, 2 members get picked off there again for Snipe. Allied going down again. Still not a lot of farm onto the Dev's Gloves.
Yeah, 2 kills coming out for 1. Dual lane completely wiped there. And Barracuda gets out of that fight. Most importantly, they do lose Anister there, but he isn't going for a Heartseeker rush, so no damage really lost.
Right now, 8 minutes in. We're going to see 1,700 gold, 2,700 in favor of COG. And now, I mean, what do you do right now if you're Snipe? Now, Wolfie is pretty decently big, level 10, but he's still behind Stealth. Omega still has actually the same amount of farm. They're dead even, both of whom are really looking for an opportunity here to try to farm up those Heartseekers. You can see Omega's got his done. Wolfie's got his done. They're both looking to get more damage out, but really the extra tanking is coming out from Baby. It might be too much for Wolfie to deal with. I don't think we've really seen this matchup in tournament just yet, and Omega's pulling out all the stops on it.
Well, there's certainly not going to be a real kill attempt over here in the 1v1, certainly. And I think that's kind of the weakness of the Hunbots pick in the solo, is that this god has an unbelievable teamfight presence and gank capability in the early game. And I think in casual games and maybe even in ranked, that Wolfie's had a lot more opportunities to rotate towards the mid lane and set up kills. Hold that thought as he may be doing that right now. Fear No Evil comes out, but it's a combat blink. No, it's not even a combat blink, just a blink from Anister right out of the rings, just like that. So really the first ultimate we've seen him attempt to be used by Wolfie is going to go fallow, and no kills found for the Hunbots just yet. I don't think this pick is paying out, at least in terms of the early game presence that it could have had.
Well, both characters in the solo lane have amazing end games. Vamana is super tanky, able to get to the back line, and then you have, Hunbots, who has insane amounts of damage. Blue buff getting stolen. Oh, the bird just barely escaping from the charge prey. That almost spelled certain doom there for another kill for Cog. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like they were able to find anything. Now Snipe trying to answer back, but look at these rotations. It's like we're already in the end game. They're just roaming as three all around the map.
Yeah, they are. They're doing a very, very nice job. Barracuda recalling in the left side lane. Going to be finishing up Boots 2 here for his Apollo. Sprint 3 already finished. And here's the kind of, I guess, the nature of this matchup over here in the solo lane is you see Wolfie running back to the base while Omega standing basically at the tower and has a tremendous tower damage advantage. So he will likely not be able to take the tower here as the support comes in from Incon, but they force out a rotation all the way to the right side lane from the Guardian of the duo, and he really wants to kind of sit around the mid and left side of the map more.
Yeah, overhand smash plus the Jingle Bang was enough to slow it down. Both the monkeys trying to clear out and stop MLC from pushing this down, but in the mid lane, they're looking for the combo Shing. Do you see the patience there? I would have ulted like 6 times.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess they kind of figure Dare to Care does have his Sovereignty 1, will be fairly tanky, but this time they're going to make a go for it, and it should be a fairly easy kill to secure, but it is going to be a support for 2 ultimates, and Anister is here with a blink available, and Stealth has his ultimate, however. Oh, barely going to miss there with that third stack. Let's see. It's Anister over the wall is the only shot here. They're going to scout it out with Apollo. Andy, where are you? Blink going to be stopped. He's going to use Fearless. They're on top to Nick. Oh, he misses. Warrior comes out, but no Fearless there, so no easy kill. In the meantime, Vamana does get cleaned up by the Hunbots in a straight trade underneath the tower. Zeus goes down as well. It's a 2-for-2 trade at the end of the day.
Hunbots super, super low. There was no way he was going to be able to contest, but then Omega decides I'm going to dive the tower. As soon as he gets deep enough to get the attack in, the ultimate comes out. He fears the evil, runs into the wall, takes 3 tower shots, but the Armored Umbrella finishes him up right as he goes down. A 1-for-1 trade. And honestly, looking at the builds, I'm going to give that one to it has to be MLC Omega, considering he had at that point less stacks farm than Wolfie.
Right, yeah, Wolfie a little bit faster on that rush, and Omega going really empty boots build here. It's going to rely on the MS from Witchstone and Heartseeker to keep him moving around the map quickly. And this is, when he gets Haste and Fatalis on top of this, which will probably go in the 5th slot, he'll probably go in Magical Defensive Item in his 4th slot after Witchstone gets done. This is late game carry Vamana. You have, basically 3 at least hybrid damage items with a straight damage item in Heartseeker. It's going to get ugly quick once he gets his build up and running. Look for about that 25-minute mark, given how his farm is going, to be when he really is turning the corner as a carry.
So Omega again pushing up here against Wolfie. You can see this time Wolfie does not have his ultimate available to him. Omega's actually going to take the tower to ensure that the creeps can stay alive for longer and put some damage in, but Wolfie makes short work of them. The tower only takes 2 hits.
They want to gank him. That they're going to think better of it. Nick and Xing rotating around, looking for a Omega rotation out of that lane as he gets pressured. Not going to find it. There's going to be a leap over the wall by Xing. He actually is going to ring in Stealth here. Stealth is going to put out the heal beam, and look at the positioning of it. He has to stay right on this corner. He's trying to run away, but it's just too much damage. The Odin Zeus combo too strong. Anister trying to answer, and now in rotates Dare to Care.
They got the ultimate. Dare's going to find him, but Zeus will go down. Finally, Barracuda shows up. Ring of Spears is on cooldown. Somersault Cloud activated. The decoy is doing a great job of dodging, but for some reason, Shing put himself back into danger. Barracuda, though, unable to answer. Allied finally there, throwing those bolas out. They're branching, doing extra damage, and Wolfie's there for the kill. Barra goes down, and they turn their sights to the Crocodile, who is forced to retreat. Still, no tower even answered. MLC Omega actually more afraid of losing his blue buff. Creeps are going to try to do some damage here. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but you can see there is major work coming out from that Gladiator minion. It's doing a lot, but I don't know. Nope, it's not going to be enough here. The creeps will turn. Only one archer actually was aimed at the tower, but it's on its last legs.
Yeah, and you know, it was Omega there. He makes the call. He starts to rotate with the Hun bots. Hun bots comes around the top side of the Fire Giant, Omega coming around the bottom side, and Omega decided, instead of continuing that rotation, to go back and aggress the right side lane. That caught out No Man's Land trying to make the decision, and unfortunately wasn't able to really make much of his movement at all. Didn't get any pressure on the mid nor on the right side, so a rare misplay by MLC Omega.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know what he's going to look for here. He's trying to get some damage done. Speaking of which, mid lane again, Stealth is caught. That is the third time they have used that in the mid lane. Once catching Sobek, twice catching that Ra now. Finally, the tower goes down, but Snipe has answered back in kills. It's 8-8. The Gold Fury is still up. They have to try to go for something here. The Cog really needs to continue pushing out. Allied right now, level 13, still 2 levels behind, but he's starting to catch up thanks to the kills and thanks to the pressure and the assists goal that he's getting from using his ultimate from across the map. Mid lane, they're putting pressure onto the tower. Datacare looks like he's commanding into this. Oh, Nick is not going to get the chain lightning he was looking for.
All right, Wolfie's going to have an angle here. Are they going to look to engage and chase this down? Fear no evil's available. There it is. It's going to push Anderson into the wall. It's going to miss Omega. Clever clear the path there. Crits come out. Down goes the tier. And that is the power of the Hun bots on rotation. Heartseeker done. Voidblade 2 up and running. And he is going to just continue to grow in his power. But still, Cog has a pretty nice lead. Still 3,000 gold. Experience fairly close, but you know, they're starting to pull away a little bit. Even though Snipe is making plays around the map, it still is Cog's game. The momentum is in their favor.
So looking at the board, we have 2 sets of hand 3. Both Shing and Allied, or rather Shing and Continentia has picked it up. We see only one on the other side. Dare to Care is going to try to get in there. Ring of Spear is going to block him out. That is a free Gold Fury right there for Snipe. And take a look at the gold, 1,700 gold separating the two. Cog's maybe starting to lose control of this one.
They need to find a kill. Quick and fast onto something that matters.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they keep on there. They're picking off the supports. You know, they've got a couple kills on the Allied. They got 4 kills on the Nick in the mid. But they need to kill Wolfie, and they need to kill Shing bad and get these Heartseeker stacks reset because they're winning the trades pretty easily. And Ring of Spears is just too potent of a team fight controlling ultimate with the damage that Odin has built here. Shing playing very, very well this game, I think.
You know, out of all this, I think what me and Bart take away the most is finally people are playing Odin.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, for the love of God, he hits like a Mack truck. He has Ring of Spears for lock-in. Odin Shout grants, I think, 55%?
He has the best buff in the game, yeah. Max rank Odin Shout is 55% attack speed buff for like 8
obnoxious.
Seconds.
Not to mention it gives him, as he levels, 5 damage. He gets 25 damage just for leveling it.
That's right, and when you look at an item like, let's say, Jotun's Wrath with 40 physical power on it, you know, that's a pretty decent damage item. I mean, it's about 3/4 of a damage item. Right, and then the chins will be coming, and the attack speed buff for chins is,
Yum.
It hurts bad.
If you get caught like as a Raw without Blink, or someone who gets stuck in that ring and you don't have an Aegis, even with an Aegis, you're likely going to die.
It's very hard to stop the Snowball Odin. He doesn't quit. He is the All-Father. He sees all things, and he's just so hard to gank with his extra vision in the jungle. As a jungler especially, you can just see everything coming. And like, for example, like if he's farming the orange buff, it's really not in a lot of danger if he can see over that wall. So the crows of Odin helping him out.
Yeah, the birds of wisdom right there. They're going to be able to pick up this. They can see that they're getting invaded on, but they're undeterred. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to jump in. He knows what they're going to do. But you got to love the combo, man. The Odin Zeus combo has been around since the very beginning of Smite.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is the original Pub Stomp All-Star team.
It wasn't Pub Stomp. We did fine with it.
that's the original Juice manages to somehow win a tournament team.
Oh,
right,
rude. Rude.
The only game you ever won was a 2v5, and you got DQ'd anyway.
Life sucks. What are you going to do? MLC Omega's taking the move. Did you just scream? All right, Shing throwing down the ring of spears there, but he manages to get out. Anister able to blink out before taking any damage right there. Cog still has a lead, and I just don't know. Actually, I do know how. They are exactly 2,000 gold ahead right now, which is precisely the 2 towers that Snipe has dropped. Experience difference, 2,300 as well. This is a very close game.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty much all squared here. I mean, you can call it pretty much even because there is, like you said, the kind of the opportunity cost of those towers is still available. The potential gold still on the board, all things told. So, Stealth, once he has Combat Blink, it looks like Snipe takes that as a cue to kind of ease off on the pressure there and look to increase their farm around the map. And I think it's a clever choice. I mean, they don't want to waste too much more time in the mid lane, getting really unreliable ganks. The Combat Blink going to be available about once every 3 minutes. The Ultimate Combination available once every minute and a half. So, they have a much smaller window now to gank the Ra.
This, in my opinion, is, though, the major strength of COG. They're down a Gold Fury. They're down a kill. Now, granted, they have 2 towers, but even if that gold didn't exist, they still would be up 400 gold. How do you become so potent and so strong of a team that when you're down multiple objectives, you're still up? It's incredible.
You don't miss last hits. I mean, 33% more gold for getting the last hit. That's got to be where it comes from. Uh-oh. Sobek caught out. You're dead. Here comes the Ultimate Combination. He's going to go ahead and get into his ultimate with Dare to Care. It's probably not going to be enough. Detonate. Third stack is available. Dashing away, Zeus, dead. Barely there, but down goes the Sobek.
That was probably the last couple of frames there of animation before he could get it. Manages to raise his hand to the sky just in time to find the kill. Now up 2 kills. Snipe is now chasing things around the map. You see the decoy just trying to chase the baby away, but right side is where the story is. Mr. Wolfie going over there is going to earn his team 1,000. Now, he might be in some trouble here. Anister's going to find the Fearless, the power cleave, but he pushes him out of the searing pain. Fear No Evil's going to take a shot. He gets the crit, overhand smash. He's going to force the ball. He's going to chase that down, but he's in a bad spot. Now, again, Stealth missing, but they're looking to try to burn this. Allied's trying to keep him alive here. The ultimate's going to stun 2 of them. Wolfie just looking. He did level the somersault right there. There's the... How in the world is he out?
Wants it. Anister's going to go deep here. Fearless is going to miss. There's the power cleave. Not enough under tower. Wolfie not going to try to turn it around just yet. In the meantime, there's a push going down to the left side of the map. Looks like Cog is going to try to push the mid. It may have a little bit of a race. No, Snipe going to give this one up and fall back. They don't want to get closed in on by the Tyr and Vamana.
Right now, they have to answer with Gold Fury. Cog just lost the lead here. The 2 towers have been answered for, and the farm has been controlled as well. Looks like we have 4 members right now of COG at full health at the Gold Fury. No one is ready to answer. And if Nick rotates in there, he is a goner with that amount of health and that low of mana. There it goes. COG's going to maintain their lead just barely. The points of contention now are even across the board. 2 kills in favor of Snipe, yet still slightly down.
Yeah, this is looking like Snipe's game in terms of momentum right now. They shifted the momentum back their way. Omega does have Haste and Fatalis complete, which is good news for them. He's going to build into a Void Blade. That's going to bring some more damage to the table. Anister also going Void Blade after his Jotun's Wrath. Items when finished, and MLC Stealth getting his Mail of Renewal later than normal here, I feel like. Those items when finished will give them a good little edge, but Titan's Bane's coming out in mass. 2 of them now, Allied and Shing, both building towards that Titan's Bane. Plus, already focused Void Blade up and running for Wolfie, and he's going to be going Deathbringer, and that is going to potentially be enough to carry this game. If he gets that finish in a timely fashion, I'm not sure that COG has an answer right now.
MLC Stealth blinking out of the Ring of Spears. Look at the build here. That's a 3-minute combat blink that's now on cooldown. We're going to see that come back up around 24:45. In the meantime, Incontinentia's getting pretty low. Charge Prey is on cooldown. Wolfie's going to get the shot off from the Fear No Evil. Look at the damage coming through. Stealth disappears. Dare to Care super low as well. He's looking to Charge Prey out of there, but it's not up. Omega has rotated in. Barracuda still solo pushing over on the left side. It looks like he's going to use the moves, actually across the sky rather, just to jump back in there. He realizes that his team is not going to benefit from him coming back over there, so he's going to try to just earn an objective, and he's going to get one. 1,000 gold added, but still they lost Stealth again.
Yeah, that 330 damage crit from from Hunbots after the ultimate was used. Fear No Evil clearing him out. And then that smack, a first hit crit, very, very lucky for him there. Well, not really very lucky. I guess it's a 50% chance plus the Deathbringer crit chance, which is nothing because it is a rank 1. So 50-50 there, gets the crit and does get the kill. And yeah, I mean, this is just not the game that stealth is going to be, the biggest impact. But he is only 1 in 4. Like, it's not the end of the world. He does have decent farm. He's the lowest on his team, but it's not like he's sitting at the 8,000 gold mark right now. He's doing okay. And Ra can transition very, very easily into a backline healer and burst damage mage instead of being kind of that frontline ugly presence that he can be. So I think not all hope is lost for Stealth at this point, but it is certainly a tricky situation he's found himself in.
So one thing we haven't really touched on, Bart, is the fact that Barracuda is level 20. He has full beads, he has full sprint, he has a focused Void Blade, he has Rage done, or rather, it looks like he has built Malice. Heartseeker has been stacked up, and he has Warrior Tabby. Not to mention that he has 230 in the bank and some wards. I mean, he is really, really large right now.
Yes.
And we haven't seen him enter a team fight.
He's large and in charge. He's about 100 gold behind Wolfie. So basically even there, but the solo lane, even though I don't think we would have expected this on paper, was ever so slightly won by Wolfie, I would say. Omega, however, they didn't shut down the Vamana, which in the past has been, a pretty big folly. We'll see if he has the same impact that he has had in other games where it's only really Stealth that they've put a lot of kills on. Andister, I guess, as well at 3 deaths. Not doing so great, but a second Witchstone going to be coming out for him, so a little more physical protection coming out his way. They're going to pressure Allied a bit. They're going to force out the Shiva like an ultimate Derek here, way out of position here, and you are going to lose your Sobek. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Snipe rush right to the Fire Giant Unbot already on that side of the map. The hand 3 going to be down. Ross Snipe coming through. Looks like they want to fight this, does Cog. Barracuda is doing a lot of damage in this fight. They're going to try to take up Allied. Allied taken away from that damage. The MLC bros are back there, and now it's Incon they're going to turn on. He's going to need at least something. I'm sorry, that was the decoy there. It's just too good. Wolfie going to be pushing tier 2 on the right side here, and he's going to get that. There's nothing that Cog can do about it.
Well, they did lose 2 people here, but Dare to Care has gone down, and that's going to be their level 3 Hand of the Gods. Both Xing and Incon still have a great amount of damage, not to mention 2 level 3 Hand of the Gods for that Fire Giant, so it doesn't look like Cog can really go for that at this point. At the same time, Barracuda's trying to answer that tier 2 back. Cog still maintains their lead somehow, even after losing that 1,500 gold, thanks to the tier 2 on the bottom side. But still, 25 minutes in and 1,000 gold separates the teams. Like, this is an impressive turnaround for Snipe.
Yeah, they're doing a very, very nice job of kind of maintaining relevancy in this game by, really getting a lot of farm and a lot of map presence on Xing and Wolfie. They're just such a threat, and Wolfie's split push there, very, very successful as well. It was an interesting and an important play, I think, by Cog there. They knew that Derek Care was going to go down, but they realized they had to fight because if they lost the Sobek and their Hand of the Gods 3, there's no way they could contest a Fire Giant attempt that would have come out from Snipe there. So, it was a smart thing to go in and fight and kind of go all in there, and they didn't lose, which is very important.
So Fire Giant still available. Gold Fury coming up in just a few seconds here. It's going to be respawning in 5. Otherwise, we're just seeing things around the map getting taken. Stealth has finally, actually, he still has not finished that Mail of Renewal, still a couple hundred gold away. I'm pretty sure level 3 is 900, so he's about 300 gold off from getting that.
Oh, they want to make a play on Hunbots here. They've got him in the lockup chain. Damage coming out. Wolfie, there's a Shiva-like ultimate available. Now there's a Fear No Evil. That's going to force him to get stunned out by the Shiva-like ultimate. When it fails, big CC chain is going to save Wolfie. Now here's Xing, and Nick is here as well. No leaps out of this pit. Omega and Derek are forced to eat the Zeus ultimate. They're going to survive for now, but it's going to be their front line. Very, very weak. Derek Care barely going to survive. Omega, too much damage. This is why you don't let Free Farm go to the baby. They're going to clean it up with the Apollo rotating in as well, and now Barracuda looking for even more kills on the Nick.
He has 3 stacks on him right now. He's stunned out there trying to keep him off. So beautiful, gonna miss here. Undeterred, though, with the beats. Nick needs to answer this somehow. Wolfie's back in the fray. He's looking for the kill on Barra, but he's too slippery, but he's slowed. He catches the crit with the Deathbringer, and he's gonna bring him down. Finally, they find a kill, but 3 have gone down there. Nick does manage to be fined. This is the power of baby MLC Omega, completely undeterred from the lightning storm, is going to keep his team in the game. And what could have been, that really was one of the most perfect initiations they could have looked for. Matching 2 people inside of that ult without jumps. Of course, talking about the Ring of Spears with the lightning storm down and not really getting either one of them. That is devastating. But right now, Incontinentia's in there. The level 3 Hand of the Gods available. The decoy's up. He's just looking for the steal. Will they just leash it here? I don't know what they're looking for. Wolfie in the back end's trying to get some damage done. and in Stir with the Lawbringer is going to be able to get some damage, but Wolfie's not dead yet.
Oh, yes, he is. As the snipe comes through, now it's Dare to Care zoning Incon from the Fire Giant. It's just outside of the threshold range. It's going to take about maybe 3 more seconds of DPS to get it there. Can they feel Incon? They get the knockup. Cog secures the Fire Giant. Brilliant play with the knockup there. Dare to Care in the right position and finds it. And this is where Cog has broken the game wide open. There was no lead before. Nearly 4K, about to be 5K. Blinking his answer. Double person fearless. And here comes the ring, but it's going to be too little too late. Allied maybe going to survive. No, there's too much lurking in the water damage. The pulse coming through from that Lightning Storm ultimate of Zeus. Omega realized he's all in at this point. Going to go down to tower. So Fire Giant buffs going off a little bit too aggressive there from Cog, and they've given Snipe now the opportunity to get back in this game.
Yeah, they went too hard. I think that's the just aggression and malice inside of Omega's heart, man. He was just ready to go.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, it's still anyone's game, I want to say, even though you do have a pretty big advantage. Barracuda not alive for the Fire Giant buff, so only Stealth, the real, even hybrid damage dealer that's available, or has that buff available to him. And also, Hunbots does have the Deathbringer finish, so if they don't lock him out of the fights altogether or take him out before it starts, it's gonna be ugly. He's gonna be able to take out these casters really quickly.
Barracuda also has extra split push potential, given the fact that Fire Giant, or rather, I'm sorry, he lost his Fire Giant, or rather did not.
He never had it. He wasn't alive for it.
Oh my. Oh, I was gonna say he's gonna have that extra potential. I'm actually surprised we're not seeing him go for the Gold Fury here, but actually he does not have any lifesteal, whereas you go across the way and we see Mr. Allied with those Dev's Gloves fully stacked up at this point. You just see him trying to control this point of contention. They don't want to lose this objective. And, you know, once Snipe starts it, they can ring his spears, lock it down, ensure that it goes off. But right now we have 3 members with 2 waiting in the wings. Wolfie is nowhere to be found. This, at best, will be a 4v5 engagement. The Blink Fearless is going to miss. Nick is just waiting for that ultimate to come out, looking for the Ring of Spears combo, but Xing has been turned on his tails. He's flung back, lunges down, Xing is gone.
Xing is gone, and Cog doing a nice job splitting up for that Shiva Blanket ultimate, not letting there be a good, you know, death ring coming out there. Omega now going to zone the entire team with his ultimate. A little bit surprised to not see Cog just turn around and take Gold Fury there, knowing that they had Baby out in front and was basically going to chase off the entire team. Looks like they want towers and phoenixes, though. They want the unsecured gold at this point to start getting secured, and then they'll look to take the Gold Fury, but the fight's going to break out at the Phoenix. Cog wants to force this one. Wolfie, a lot of damage. Fear No Evil coming out. Who's going to be his target? He hasn't hit an in-hand yet. So after using his first ability, doesn't get any crits off of that Snipe. Just not enough to kill Wolfie there. Very, very close. Stealth gets a little bit too close to that Lightning Storm. Gonna make it up for now, trying to heal up before the next detonate. Fire Giant buff plus his heal gonna be enough. Barracuda has taken to the skies. Oh, is he really gonna go deep here? Barracuda going deep. Looks like Cog is really feeling themselves, trying to get the Mez in to save Anister. Now they're forced to retreat, falling back on all cylinders.
How does he get out of those things?
Pretty sloppy engagement, all things told, from Cog there.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I don't really understand how he was able to get out. Also, we just got a word. It looks like Down the Frag has fallen. Team Dignitas will take 3rd place this week.
Dignitas, so they maintain the points for themselves there. In the meantime, here in this game, Gold Fury is going to be started by Snipe, and with 740 damage crits coming out from Wolfie, 1,000 damage on that one. It's going to go down very quickly.
So if Snipe is able to win this game and then another game in this set, they'll have one this week, and that amount of points actually will put them into 1st place or rather 2nd place. No one's touching first. 1st place is basically 2nd seed at this point because Cog cannot fall down any longer in North America. But still, Snipe, if they win, will be 5 points ahead of Dignitas and will give them the 2nd seed.
Well, yeah, and then they will, you know, if they if they manage to take a game off of Cog here, they join a very small list of people that have done so. That list reads Denial Esports North America. So
I think Dig
took one game, 2 weeks ago they did. So Dignitas and Denial, the only teams that have even taken a game off of Cognitive. That's why you see some of their gods sitting on 97% win rates when they pick them, like Barracuda's Apollo. So it's definitely a tall task. And in this game, Barracuda actually underperforming given how he normally rolls on the Apollo. Only 3, 2, and 5. So they've done a pretty good job, I think, has Snipe of really holding down Cog. Except for Omega. They didn't really try to kill him very much, and now he is in hyper carry mode, and he's going to go hide an Anemian Lion, as Hunbots does not have enough lifesteal to support the amount of damage he's putting out.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I mean, this is a very smart pickup. It's going to give him more protection, which of course will give him more damage as a result, and 80 protection's a big number. He's going to gain 200 health on top of that, which is going to help him with his passive for his ultimate, which of course heals him on a percent based on his health. And then of course, it's going to give him reflection, 20% back to the target. I mean, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, and when Wolfie throws out a crit for 1,000 damage and you hit him for 200 on top of that, with all of the damage that Vamana's able to put out as well, it just makes it so that they can't even really turn and burn him, as they're just going to hurt themselves too much. His HP pool too big and the Reflect too strong. Fire Giant coming back up right now. It is available. You can see the teams over here and ready to fight. Omega just crushing Allied in the front line. Now Shing's going to join. Omega forced to go into Big Baby, and now he's going to River Dance, trying to try to find a target and keep that Haste of Fatalis proc up. There goes the Magic's Blessing from Incon. Omega still trying to find a target, now forced back. Barracuda's going deep for Allied. He's so deep. Ultimate coming out from Shivalake. One crit. Down goes the Hunter. In the meantime, in the ring, there's a big fight going down. Wolfie trying to find his damage, but knocked up by Omega. They want to take down Stealth, but he's just too speedy on the Raw with that passive. And here comes the danger of Wolfie. Oh, sir, you're hurting yourself. The Hide of the Nemean Lion. Stealth Snipe barely going to miss, but Umbrella cannot, and down will fall the Monkey. They lose Barracuda in the meantime, as well as Tears, so push potential not really there outside of just Omega for Cognitive.
Not to mention, Shing has a very short cooldown, 75 seconds, then mitigated by 25% cooldown reduction. So that Ring of Spears is coming back very, very soon. Now, if you take it to the fact that they don't really have a lot of basic attack damage, I mean, MLC Omega brings some to the table. Without Barracuda, they don't really have a way to contend for the Fire Giant, especially given the fact that they have 2 level 3 Hand of the Gods available to them over on the Snipe side, which means they can CC 1, but they're probably not going to find a way to CC 2, so it's not looking too good for the FG right now. Both teams are probably going to wait on their carries to respawn.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And man, look at the focus Void Blade call. Whoever made the call on Cog, it was swiftly met. Physical protection coming out in droves, so in fact, Dare to Care are going to go for the Hide of the Enemy line as well. They're just trying to cut down on the number of targets that Hunbots can realistically engage on, and it's looking pretty tough for him. Anister's going to be a tough kill. Omega and Dare to Care all quite difficult as well. Omega feeling himself. He's deep, and he is, and when we say deep, he's 1v4 in the enemy's jungle, so he's going to dash out of there as Fire Giant is up, and it would be too big of a loss to lose the Vamana at this point.
Continentia actually finds the ward, but then immediately Dare to Care answers back by dropping one and using the tail whip to cover as much space as possible. All 5 members of Snipe are in the Fire Giant vicinity, just looking for that opportunity, as strangely Wolfie opts to go for a small camp left side. The perfect split push is happening. Barracuda still has enough mana and enough movement to get back over to that Fire Giant at a moment's notice. Allied, however, is going to be rotating in to try to stop this. Poison Darts is going to miss. And now Barracuda is really going to have lay of the land here. But look at the rotation coming over from Snipe. I don't like this one.
Oh, yeah. Barracuda forced to use beats. He's going to have to sprint as well. He's going to try to get up in the chariot. It's not going to come in time. Down he will go. But in the meantime, Fire Giant has been started. Only in Khan here trying to get a snake kill. Shing rotating in. He's going to have a blink. Is he going to use spears? He's not. He's just trying to stand behind the Fire Giant. Now he's going to spear him in. And he's trying to zone out the tank, but he's not going to. Khan gets Fire Giant. Incon getting turned on. Just a decoy going to fall. Odin already down. Now Incon leaps down a Somersault Cloud. They're going to find Allied, and this is going to be a very dead Shiva Lanke. Just like that, he does go down to the Umbrella Ring after the knock-up chain. Big time slow coming out from Omega as well, but it's going to be purged by the Heavenly Agility. And now it's going to be Nick. They're going to try to chase down. Haste of Fatalis is proc. He's going to have a stun under the baby. Is it going to be enough for the kill? I don't think so. Knocked up and dead. No chance to detonate. And Cog is rolling. Fire Giant buff. 4 alive. 3 down for Snipe. It's the Phoenix in their sights.
You know, they had 2 Hand of the God level 3 right there on Snipe and were unable to equate it to the most important Fire Giant push of the game. They lost Barracuda on Cog, but they answer back with 3 kills of their own, thanks to the amazing pressure of Omega with that CC and that amazing chain. Anister finds the Fearless. Incon's getting bursted here. I don't know if they're going to really have enough before the bird comes up here. They get another shot, but they don't really have a lot of push. Barra has respawned. He has his ultimate. I'm surprised, really, that we haven't seen him use it yet to try to get into the thick of things. Incon's low. Snipes good onto Wolf. He's going to deter him, just barely jumping away. That was a close one.
You know, that, so the strategy that Cog is using here is actually pretty interesting. It's actually really popular in Dota right now. They call it Rat Dota, where you take one of your carries that's highly mobile and just split them and force the enemy team to go, when you see them rotate to go try to take him, you just immediately four-man the other side of the map, and that's exactly what we saw there. Barracuda, just such a good job at distracting, knowing he was going to die, putting himself in that ugly position, forcing the rotations, and had he got out as well, it would have been just the ugliest thing in the world. But Gold Fury Fire Giant go the way of Cog, and just played like a fiddle there with Snipe.
Oh my god. Do you see the in-hand, Bart? Right now, everyone except for Barra was sitting over 2K, some closer to 3,000 gold. We're seeing some pretty damaging items come out. We see Urchins, 3 of them getting picked up. MLC Stealth with the Midgardian Mail and the Mail of Renewal. He is Mail C Stealth. I mean, he is incredibly tanky right now.
It's the MLC of Renewal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but now he has Midgardian Mail, too, so we had to make it funnier.
Oh, I see.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, well done, sir. Well done. So it's Cog's game right now. I mean, this is their game to win. Snipe has to make big plays. They have to basically wipe this Fire Giant buffer. It's going to be, I mean, this tower is free, and Wolfie's got himself out of position now on top of it. Omega, does he have the baby on reaction? He doesn't, so he's going to get stunned out into the wall there by the Fear No Evil. And one thing that we haven't really mentioned is that Allied has no kills, which means that his passive is doing nothing for him. Even on all of these really, really effective Zeus ult ultimates in the early game, he didn't find an ultimate of his own when those kills went out to get that extra damage, and now he's going to fall again to Omega. Just can't be peeled now. It's Wolfie that's forced to try to run from the baby, and Monkey forced to leap out of there, so Omega wants to just continue pursuing this. He finds a slow one. Wolfie, that is dead. Hunbots, no way he can get away from that. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very likely to be the game, as Cog is going to group up and look to break the base.
A surrender vote has come out. We haven't seen it gone through just yet. 5 members of Cog rushing down the second Phoenix of the game. Nick forced to activate his Aegis shield there. He gets the detonate for the stun for the peel, but it's just not enough to deter the baby. There he goes. Surrender vote's going to go through. Game 1's going to go down.
There it is. Cognitive Gaming takes game number 1. Very, very, very strong play from Cog. I mean, you saw it. It's what always happens with Vamana. They were expecting Hunbots to carry harder than Vamana, but Vamana being unpeelable and having that CC immune on his ultimate just too much. They couldn't snowball the Wukong hard enough.
That's going to be game 1 here, guys. This is a best-of-3 set in the finals. Snipe still has a chance to answer back, but the unmovable Cog continues to be unmovable. Even then, when we see Barracuda, Annenster, and Dare to Care all go even, MLC go negative, Omega picks up the reins, goes 8-2-10, puts out 24,000 damage. Not top honors, of course. That would belong to Nick with almost 39K.
And I think, just kind of rehash that point that was going down during the last fight there. Really, really important interaction. Xbalanque's ultimate, when activated, if a god dies, gives him a physical damage buff, and it's a permanent buff for the rest of the game. In this game, that Allied seemed to not get that much out of it, didn't seem to get very many physical damage stacks, and didn't find any kills of his own. So that passive not doing that well for him, although he did have 13 assists. So it was likely stacked towards the end of the game there, but it just wasn't a very solid game for Allied at all. And I think if they can look to clear that up, if they had a really strong 100 presence in that game, I think they could have won.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Snipe really had an opportunity in the mid game to make things happen, but